Hello, this is Barry, Kilowatt United 3 X-Ray. This afternoon I'm running an Icom IC 703 Plus in the backyard with a little homebrew vertical antenna. It's a B&W coil. It's a high Q coil, and it's a 6-foot telescopic whip attached to the coil. I go to the top. You can see the top of the whip. And this antenna is actually good 10 through 40 meters. You can get on 6 meters with it, but you have to collapse the whip antenna a little bit. It's much too long. For ground system, I use 2 ground radials, and one is cut for 20 meters, the other is cut for 15 meters. It gives balance to the antenna system. It's not that the efficiency is increased all that much with 2 pieces of wire, but the antenna needs balance so it matches to the radio. And speaking of matching to the radio, the SWR is around 1.2 to 1 when you move the tap up and down in a coil. You can see the tap right now. It's set for 20 meters, and there's a G3 station coming in, and he's not too bad. He's not too bad. With this setup, I've worked down to Florida with no problem. I've worked in Czechoslovakia with it, all on CW. I'm in Three-Land in Pennsylvania, so that's quite a bit of a haul. And if you think about it, there's not much to this setup to be able to work those stations with only 5 watts. The power supply is a battery pack on the side of the radio. Icom sells a 9.6 volt battery pack at 2800 milliamp hours. This one is a 10.8 volt at 4200 milliamp hour. It's aftermarket, and it's a nice battery pack. The idea behind it is a higher voltage, and when the voltage starts going down on the batteries, by specifications they recommend you don't go below 9.2 volts. They say that's the cutoff range for the battery, which is ideal because the radio itself will turn off at about that voltage. So for me, the battery pack is matched perfect to the radio. I've used this setup for field day, and I've worked the whole afternoon with it and had a lot of fun, and the battery didn't go dead. So there's a lot of life to the battery. It works out terrific. The radio has the 500 hertz CW filter in it. And what I like about the 703, it has audio DSP, which is nice. And there's a few other features in it also. Naturally, it has a built-in keyer, but it has a built-in memory keyer, which I find very convenient. The tuner is nice at times. I don't really need it. I mostly use resonant antennas, but every now and then you have to tweak it up a little bit. And the built-in antenna tuner with latching relays works great. I have the radio so it defaults at only 5 watts output on sideband and CW. The radio is capable of 10 watts, but I like true QRP. I know sideband QRP is 10 watts, but I still like the idea of 5 watts. So I go into the main menu before the radio is really turned on. You have to turn it on, but before you get into the operating mode of the menu of the radio, there's an operating setup menu, and I get into there and I turn it so it's only 5 watts maximum output. From the primary station, I've worked down to a ½ watt output, but for this application here, I find 5 watts is challenging enough. I don't think I want to go down much more than 5 watts. If the band conditions pick up, which eventually they will, and 10 and 15 open, I'll probably try portable with like this, and probably get down to about 1 watt and see what I could do. But I'm quite comfortable with 5 watts. It's a nice little setup. I really like it. So there's my little presentation of portable QRP with the Icom. So for now, I'll say 73 from Kilowatt United 3 X-Ray. Did-da-da-da-da.